Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shaun Builds a Blank. And today we're going to build a aero hypercoaster like Magnum or Desperado or Pepsi Max Big One, or I think it's called Titan X, which is in Space World, which is closing down. So there's going to be one less hypercoaster soon, which is kind of sad since there wasn't really a lot of them to begin with. And I think that one had trains that used to be just like Magnum's trains, and then it got trains that were made by S&S who kind of replaced Aero, or at least like they got all their old employees. And let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this train's actually too long, so I'm gonna delete one section. See what happens once I hit that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be fine. It might be too long. I don't know. But we're going to start this out with a little pre-drop out of the station. And I don't want to give it too much of a like fast section before the lift hill because it's not really what they do. So instead I'm just gonna bank the turn, have it go kind of wide, get this to be roughly where I want it to be. That should do it. And then I'm gonna add some brakes right there. I'll add like a full set of brakes. And then we'll start the lift hill. And the lift hills on these aren't very steep at all. So I'm going to go to 22 seems not enough. I'll go with 26.26. And this lift hill is going to be very, very slow because that's just the way that they are. I've only been on one aero hyper, and that's Desperado, and the ride kind of beats the crap out of you if you don't know how to ride it. But if you're like me and you know how to ride it, then it's actually not too bad. Like, as far as hypercoasters go, I think that I prefer Desperado to Goliath, and I definitely prefer it over Manhattan Express, which is technically a hypercoaster. It's over 200 feet, but that ride really, really sucks. And if they were to get rid of it, which they won't, I'd be really, really happy. They could replace it with nothing, and I wouldn't care. Like, they don't need a roller coaster. Now, anyways, the lift hill is done, and now it's time for the drop. These drops are kind of weird because they don't really like slope how most hypercoasters slope. Actually, yeah, 60 is as far as I can go. Yeah, that looks pretty much right. If anything, that's not long enough, but whatever. Start bringing it up or down. I guess it's technically bringing it up, or actually it's just leveling it out. Alright, there's the first drop done. It's a little over 270 feet, which is pretty big. I don't think any of them are actually that tall. Like Goliath. Desperado is like, I think 225 feet. When it opened, it was like the biggest roller coaster in the world, and now it is not. And that looks about right for the air. No, don't autocomplete. Yeah, that's not what we're doing. Alright, we're already getting close to the edge of the map, and that's good, because right now this has a pretty standard like arrow layout as far as like drop and then hill. I'm gonna throw some Desperado in this, and I'm gonna add a really weird turnaround. Desperado is one of the worst turnarounds that I've ever experienced, and it kind of adds to the charm a little bit with the ride. But if you really get down to it, it's just a really shitty turnaround. And I think it was one of the rides that Ron Toomer, who used to design shit, even though he was like 80 and senile, he probably shouldn't have been designing anything, but he did. And this turn is just terrible. Like the banking is like completely off. It hurts. It's probably the most painful part of the ride. Like right after the drop, you have like the two most painful parts of the ride, and it's like the turnaround right after the first drop, and then another turnaround that follows that drop, and then there's like these 3 airtime hills, and those actually aren't too bad, but those parts suck. And alright, we're getting close to the ground. I might build a rock warehouse. Desperado has a walk warehouse. Has a walk warehouse. Has a rock warehouse that the helix goes through, and it's not very exciting. Shut up. Girlfriend's laughing at me now because I said walk warehouse.
And I'm thinking about the pigeons that live in the rock warehouse.
There are a ton of birds in there. There's way too many birds than a roller coaster should have living inside of it.
And the log flume.
Oh yeah, there is a log flume. It's actually a really good log flume. Sort of. Alright, so the log flume at Buffalo Bills, it has really nice scenery throughout, but it's because it's a shooting dark ride, and there's one drop, and it's right at the beginning. So the whole time you just spend like floating through the casino shooting random stuff. Like it's such a weird hotel / ride. At one point they used to have a train that ran inside of it and outside, but they got rid of it for some reason. I never got to go on it. Every time I would go, it was closed and there wasn't any tracks, so it was obviously closed like a really long time ago before I ever got to go. But anyways, I smoothed that out, hopefully not too much. Yeah, that still looks kind of bad. This might be too tall though. I don't know if it's going to make it, especially since this lift hill is so slow. It's at 5 miles per hour, and I'm not going to make it any faster because I think that's a bit unrealistic. You can do it. You're almost there. Come on. And just kind of hang there for a second. Yep. That's the kind of drop I'm talking about. And then up into the first air hill. And you probably wouldn't get a whole lot of it unless you're in the back. What noise was that?
I'm watching it.
And
make it.
Yeah, that looked kind of painful and actually had a bit of speed, so I'm good with that. And no, it's time to give this another weird turnaround. I'm gonna base this one kind of off of Magnum's pretzel turnaround, but I'm gonna make it better or worse. I don't know. It's just gonna be a really weird version of it, and there's gonna be ridiculous speed and directional changes, the kind of things that you don't really want on an aero coaster, with some of the worst restraints and seat separators ever designed. Not that I'm, not that I'm against them, except that I am. Like, they're honestly some of the worst restraints and seat dividers that I've ever been on in my whole life. Like, the correct way to ride Desperado, and I'm sure all the other hypers, is to sit in, first of all, you want a middle row, because that way you're not on the wheel and you don't get the additional vibration. So pick a middle seat, doesn't matter which row. If you want airtime, then obviously go for the back, but do note that it probably will be a little bit more painful back there and you're taking a bigger risk. But, however, with Desperado, I think that the front is the most painful spot, and I don't recommend it. But yeah, you have to lean forward the entire time and lean with the turns. And it's not very easy because the ride's like vibrating the entire time. And it doesn't really help with anything. Alright, it's going up that hill now. And that was a slow hill. And here it comes. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, God. Alright, so right here I'm gonna add some trim brakes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe not that section, though. That section can be normal. Right here, we'll have trim brakes. Alright, cool. And I'll add catwalks to those. Alright. Hopefully that will help a bit. If not, then I'll just change it. But I don't want to because it's really rough and it's how it's supposed to be. This part right here was painful. Maybe right here. Ooh, this right here is another good spot for a trim brake. Yeah, the whole thing. Trim brake. Just in case. Alright. Are we at the top of the lift yet? No. Okay. That's fine. So we're just going to add a turnaround right here. 75 is the most I can bank this. Yeah, we'll start on banking that, and then 0. Alright, cool. That looks like it would hurt. Alright. Really quickly go back here and... Oh, that speed's a lot better. And trim that section. Oh, trim too hard. Let's change that to... Oh no, 38. There we go. Have this big hill right here. Start leveling that out because there's terrain there. Alright, now we're going to get to the best part of aero coasters, or at least the hyper coasters, the airtime hills. So, most airtime hills are parabolic, however you say the word. Aero hills, they pick 1 degree, then they get to the top, and then they flatten it. And then you do the same thing, 45, and you just go down. That's how they work. The only time they don't is on the bigger hills, but most of the time they just do that. Desperado has 3 of them in a row, and they're pretty insane, actually. Then you flatten it. It looks so stupid, but you can't even question it, because It's literally how they're built. A lot of the time they do have abrupt, like, changes like that where you're like, are you sure you don't want to add, like, a little bit more room to level out? And they're just like, nah, this is fine. It's not fine, though, okay? It's not. It hurts. Actually, that's not long enough, so I'll make that friction brake, that part right here. Block brake, because maybe at this point in the ride, the train on the lift, or the first train will be done with that section. It'll be time for that train to go off the lift hill. Probably not, though. I mean, I could probably still make this first part of the ride like 3 times as long, and it wouldn't matter, because the lift hill just takes like 2 minutes. 2 minutes of the ride is lift hill. Can you imagine that? Alright, down there. Let's hit that at 79. Press it at 39. Down here, trims it down to about 40. Oh, it does actually hit the full 30. Maybe we'll just get rid of that trim brake entirely. And get rid of that catwalk. There we go. Killed the train. Alright. Let's see how bad this is from the rider's perspective. Alright, so you go there. Really shitty banking. It's good. Then onto the lift hill. And we're going to speed this up because I'm not going to wait this whole thing. Even sped up, this is taking forever. Alright, I can see the top of it now. There we go. Well, that wasn't exciting. And then, oh yeah, I got that making just right. And with just right, I mean it was bad. And, oof. Just get slammed into the restraints right there, and there, and there. That actually was good. Good surprise, and then wham! Fuck your sides. Ooh, that's too slow. Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? Oh my god, it made it. Alright, so if I smooth that out, it should shrink and it should clear a little bit better. I'm not gonna clear those hills though. Alright, so this ride's gonna be shorter than I thought it would be. I did not plan for this. I thought it was almost too tall, and apparently it might not be tall enough. So, alright, I'm gonna grab that, start smoothing it. And actually, I'm gonna select from here to here and drag it down. There we go. And then those hills will just have to change all of them. That right there, it looks really bad, especially bad. Grab that and that. And track limits exceeded. Alright. Track limits exceeded. Track limits exceeded. How about if I change it to... Oh no, that. Is that better? How about if I change that to like that? There we go. Alright, now I'll just delete all of these hills from Oh shoot. Okay. From here to here. And we'll level it out here. So we're already at... I don't know how tall we're at. 106. That's not good. I have to get this all the way back to here. I don't know how. This isn't the type of ride where I can just throw in another lift hill either, because they have one lift. Yeah, we'll go to 45. 0. Right here I'll get a little bit more speed going since it does level out. Oh, but then it goes up again. Oh, well, I didn't plan for that. We're actually not too far off. Where's the train? It's going backwards. This is still too tall. It's probably the stupid trim brake. It's just killing everything. What if I get rid of it and I just let the ride just blast through? I'll add the trim brakes where I need to add them. Maybe not right there. And I'll keep these at this height, because I'm sure that'll be fine. Terrain, I'll push that down. Oh, there's a new update, and I can just do this if I want to. I can just go right through the terrain if I need to. They got rid of terrain collisions. And I went right into the ground because my girlfriend was mocking me like a jerk. Alright, we're gonna add a block section here in hopes that it'll work.
Is it going to stop everything like Goliath?
Yes, I'm gonna make it stop entirely. It'll be fun. No, I almost made a mistake and gave it a straight drop off of the lift. That's not what arrows do. So, what arrows do is, you know, they add a funky little drop like that turns, and then you do a bunch of bullshit. Like, oh no, that seems good. And then go like that. And then, oh no, I guess I'll have it. You dropped your knitting thing, your crochet hook.
I know.
Are you gonna pick it up?
Yes.
Oh, I don't believe you.
No, I'm gonna leave it on the ground.
Threw it on the ground. What you think, I'm stupid? I'm not a part of the system. That garbage in another man's veins. Alright, that turn looks especially bad. Right here we'll have it just whiz by the station. It's gonna whiz by. You don't even know. They're gonna be like, oh shit, it's whizzing. It's whizzing right by. Like, yeah, you know it. Tell me that's not whizzing right on by the station. Look at it. You're looking at your phone.
I'm playing Wheel of Fortune.
That's not important.
Wheel of Fortune is very important.
Alex Trebek is a lie.
That's Jeopardy.
Oh shit, Pat Sajak is a lie.
It's Pat and Vanna.
Vanna, that's not even a real name. I know. I made it up. Okay, this is going a bit better. Oh, those are so slow. So beautiful. Oh yeah, just stop at the top. Mm. And it's not gonna make it to the top of this one. Nope, but I can fix that by dragging all of that and... Nope, more. There we go. And then I drag that to there, and then that, and then I mash the smooth button. There we go. And then right here, grab that, and I mash the smooth button. Keep mashing it real good. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, I kind of wouldn't mind adding the second train really quick. Oh wait, I have to add a block section for that. Oops. Edit track. Here. Block section. Alright. Now, operations. Oh, I can't make it block sectioned yet because it's not a complete circuit. Well, alright, that's fine. Cool. I don't know what to do with the rest of it now. Oh, it needs a helix. It needs a helix, then more stupid stuff. So I'm gonna have it rise up. And oh no, that's probably good right there. And then start banking it, and probably banked a bit too much. And here we go, helix time. That helix is too big. How about more like that? But no, that's going down too much. Alright, that's a pretty good helix. And go like that. And that's at 9 feet, so that's too tall, but I'll just have it go down a bit. No. There maybe? I don't really know what this ending is. It's pretty bad. And then friction brakes. A block brake, super tiny one. And then autocomplete. There we go. I don't mind it having a little section after those brakes. And they need optional catwalks. They're not optional, they're mandatory. This ride will have mandatory catwalks. Alright, now I can go into operations, set it to 3 trains. That block section actually isn't big enough. Oh well. Alright. Let's do this. Speed it up. Whee! Alright. Now we're back here. like that lag right there. Oh, so slow. Alright, now will it make it up this hill? Yes. No. Oh, geez. That's still too tall. Alright, well, I'm getting rid of the mid-course break. This ride's only going to run 2 trains, which is going to suck for everyone. Actually, you know, I wonder if this ride will just be so slow because of the lift hill that I could get away with running it with, like, less trains than it should have. Huh. That's a thought. And I just have it stack. That's something to think about. I might try that. Not in this video. I'll do that some other time. That right there can get smoothed. And that can get smoothed. Alright. This should be fine. That's at 87. This is going to be close. There's that one really bad turn. I think it's on the pretzel turn. The one right here. Yeah, that looks better. That'll do, and I think this one was the other bad one. Or maybe it was going into it. Yeah, it's this one. Alright, where's the train? Going down. Alright, let's go on this again. Make this made me that was a little bit smoother. Not smooth enough. That was bad. It's gonna need a lot of work. Vents into the helix. I like the part where it sounds like a trash can. And into the brakes. Yeah, that all seemed just fine. That train's at the top. This train's gonna go here. Yeah, this ride can actually run 3 trains if it stops on the lift. Or just goes slow enough. I don't mind that. That's fine with me. And 515357102. It's terrible. But I'm okay with it because it's an arrow and I wouldn't really expect anyone to like it. Like, I think a lot of it is just because of how slow the lift hill is, and that's where you spend most of the ride. So for the entire way up the lift, you're just bored out of your mind, and I unfortunately, Planet Coaster does figure in the lift hill with the excitement rating. So maybe if it didn't do that, it would have a slightly better rating. But that's not the way that it works, and there's nothing we can do about it. Alright. Smooth that part out a little bit more. And maybe that part. Yeah, that's a bit better. So yeah, it's kind of a pretty weird layout for an Aero Hyper. It does things that they don't do, yet it's not exactly far-fetched. The most far-fetched thing about this ride is that it doesn't have a mid-course brake. And I think that in real life, this ride wouldn't lose as much speed as it does in this game. The friction is still kind of weird and unrealistic, but if you turn on the cheat to like lower the friction just slightly, it's still like it gets even more unrealistic because then the ride pretty much doesn't lose any speed, and that's just as bad if not worse than this problem. So yeah, there you have it, a Aero Hyper Coaster with a really weird layout. I am probably gonna keep this ride and make it part of the park, but I'll probably do some changes to it. But for now, that's this coaster, and we're gonna call it, oh, Desperado Magnum. Big one, 200. There we go. Desperado Magnum Big One 200. The only... Oh, wait. Hold on. Big One 200 X. That's a C. X. There you go, for Titan X. There we go. Combined all the names into one. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.